All right. Hopefully there's no tech issues here. Changed a few things up today. This is a bit weird. So I've fixed my stand-up desk. So I'm gonna attempt the stand-up stream today, but I have to say it's a little bit weird, sort of looking down at everything. But yeah, long time indeed. Let me check when I last streamed. I can't really remember. Hopefully the sound is okay. I had to kind of change my mic position a bit. Yes. So last stream was on the 26th of July. So about 2 weeks ago. How are you keeping, White Shark? And thanks for the Prime sub. So this is my morning coffee. It is 9:24 a.m. I think it's IKEA actually. All right. So what do we have on the bench today? I looked through. Well, stream. Let's actually have a quick look. I was considering doing Comet Lake, but I looked through my list of past streams and so many lost VODs. It's kind of a shame, but anyway, what's this weird zoom level? Okay, 100% is a bit better. So this is stream number 83, and I was just looking at the LN2 column basically, and okay, obviously there's APUs missing on the AMD side, but otherwise AMD is pretty well represented. On the Intel side, okay, I mean I don't have Cascade Lake X. I still need to do my 6700K that I bought from Carta, but that's just going to take a little bit of prep, and that's time I don't have because I was actually having issues with my streaming rig. Talking about streaming rig, here's my streaming rig. There you go. Still going strong. So yeah, so RMA still pending on the Threadripper parts. But what I was finding, so what I have in there right now is the Crosshair 6 Hero, 1700X, 4 sticks of just dumb 4GB RAM, obviously all my capture cards and all that. But what I had to do was, have the e-power shown up yet? Okay, that's another story, another saga. What I had to do, what basically happened was my Vega, I have a Vega Nano in there, and the Vega, because I had it just on a box, just on a cardboard motherboard box, it was having a bit of a sag basically, which actually stopped the entire rig from posting. But luckily, yesterday, a care package came in from Kingpin, which included this thing, which is, oop, that's the wrong thing. You might have noticed that the PSU is out the back here. Obviously a secondary PSU as well for the heater and for the condensation fans. But that's not an OBS, an open bench table. So I'm using the open bench table for my stream rig in order to avoid the video card sag, and testing out the new bench table, the low cost bench table by Kingpin. So yeah, yeah, I'm messing around with my cameras today, but I can still show it to you a little bit because I need to attach the pot anyway. So I've got Sammy's here, really nice extremes, but just to show you sort of first impressions of this bench table. So it's just a plastic plate. I think early versions were actually a piece of felt. and just these spacers, and you don't actually have, you wouldn't be able to run video cards on here on cold, certainly, because those rods that stick up from the OBT to stop sag are do not exist on this thing. So it's kind of cool. It's sort of I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it to catch the light. Yeah, there we go. You can see it's sort of semi-translucent, so it's like a piece of light plastic with the with the Kingpin logo embossed on it or just printed on it, and then on the other side it's just basically just screws. So it's it's a little bit better than just a cardboard box. I just think it looks cool and it's just neat. It's obviously the one criticism I would have is there's no place to put the PSU, so when I'm streaming that's not ideal, but I think for someone who's just starting out benching, this could be quite good. And it's I don't remember the price, you can look it up on kingpincooling.com, but I think it's like $20 US or something. Less RGB, but it's okay. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so partially out of necessity and partially to kind of show off this product, I'm going to be benching LN2 on this bench table today. While I'm at it, I've had to redo the heater pad. I think I put this on my Instagram as well. I've had to redo the heater pad on my Inferno, so I'm using the thin one now, and it's actually quite good. I'm surprised. I thought I would have to buy a new one, but actually Kingpin is also now offering replacement thick heater pads, which I don't know what you would need it to be thick for, but I got one more thing from Kingpin as well. Just let me find that. This will be the end of the show and tell, but actually I have one more thing to show you after that. But this is the new 30 gram Kingpin KPX. So I usually do a group order with other Aussie benchers for Gelid GC Extreme, and that's certainly still cheaper, but there's no web shop to get it from. You have to kind of contact a representative from Gelid to get that, and they cut us a deal, and it all ends up being actually cheaper per gram than Kingpin. But I just needed paste. I'm running out. This is all I've left. This one's nearly gone, and I just have team cup things to do and stuff. So even though Gelid for sure is the best paste out there, I haven't tried liquid helium though. I haven't tried Der Bauer's liquid helium paste. But the absolute best paste that I've tried is Gelid, and then a close second would be Kingpin. I'm not. I mean, this stuff is cheap enough. I think it's like €4 a tube or something, so I don't mind paying that. But what's that, White Shack? I actually am not really fully aware of that. So here we have a bit of an unboxing. Let's throw out this stupid thing. Yeah, this is what I'll say about it is it's obviously sort of more environmentally friendly than buying 15 or 20 of these and chucking them out. So it's still not cheaper, even in a massive 30 gram tube like this. And the question I would have about it is, does it dry out? Because certainly Gelid dries out quite quickly, even in the small tubes. So that's the only question mark about it. But it's obviously very practical just to have one tube to remember to bring. Because with the small tubes, if you bring one tube for a session, depending on how many times you have to tear it down and stuff, you may actually run through an entire tube. Whereas this, you know, it's much easier to know how much you have left. And it's like if you have half of this left, you can basically bench through 100 liters of LN2 and still have pace left over. So it's more a practical thing. In terms of performance, I would still argue that Gellet is better. I need to find a place to put this sticker. And one of my friends in Australia needed a new pad, so just maybe to compare. So this is basically the stock heater pad. I don't know if you can really see that. Yeah, you get the idea. Basically the advantage of this is it's pre-cut. So the thin pad, as you might be able to tell, I had to cut it down myself, put the holes in it myself. This is $5 and it's got all of the holes and it's got the right shape and everything. Phobia, yeah, I've heard that that may be a rebrand, but okay, is it confirmed? I mean, have people looked at the consistency and the color of it and the performance of it? Is it really exactly the same thing? That'd be nice. I'll have to look into that. One more bit of show and tell before we actually start benching. Someone in my neighborhood was basically trying to move up, and this person was trying to move up from a 14 core on Skylake X, which, and supposedly he's an ambient bencher and a gamer, so I don't really know what you move up to from there. I know by accident, I mean coincidentally, the new chip he bought was from Bob NZ, the Aussie's #1 overclocker on HarbourBot, and it was a 9960X. So I don't know for what reason someone would want to move from 7940X to a 9960X, but I bought it and it was dirt cheap for a 14 core, and I think it does like it did really well on water. It does like 5.1 or 5.2 on water. Even gave me the box, which is always nice. So yeah, it was significantly cheaper than a 10900K would be. So I think that's a good deal. All right, let's catch up on chat. Keep the tube in the bag. Does that keep it dry somehow or something? Okay, so does it actually stop it from drying out? So maybe I'll be able to show. Just trying to see if there's any identifying information on this, but Keep, you asked about the e-powers. I may have to call DHL because yeah, it doesn't say where I live or anything, so I can show you this. This is the e-powers tracking. So everything is, you know, everything just looks fine here. You know, 21st of July, and then same day it's going on to Chicago, and 2 days later it's in Chicago. A little bit later, it goes through Los Angeles. So like basically within like a couple of weeks, it goes from Indianapolis to being in Australia on Friday. But then it just says in transit to destination. It doesn't say we attempted to deliver and you weren't home, which is unlikely because I work from home every day. So this is last Friday, so I might have to contact Australia Post or something to see what's up there, because it's now Wednesday, and I live something like 7 kilometers from the airport. So I would imagine that it doesn't take 6 days for a parcel to get from to go 7 kilometers. All right, hopefully we have completely caught up with the chat now. Icon, no, I didn't buy an icon. I barely even use my 2 Kingpin Fats, so $25. Okay, I will put it back into the into the bag. I don't know exactly still what that really does, but let's put together our rig. Maybe just to mention, it does. Okay, so this is the binning I did. So we're on 3570Ks today. I basically had 5 unlocked IV chips. So far, a 3770K that was a complete dud, and 4 3570Ks. Here's the batches and the vids. Obviously, vids are very close for some reason, so can't really say much about that. Then what I mean by IMC is just what can it, at one point, let's say 1.85 volts VDIM on my good PSC, what can it post without messing around with other voltages at 812.8, something really basic. And for whatever reason, this chip had a horrible IMC, but it actually had the best Cinebench 15 pass on water. So that's why I LN2 this chip, even though it had the worst vid and IMC presumably, unless the IMC really recovers on LN2. I put this on LN2. It didn't even do 6.2, so that's sold. This chip, you could see here, it needed horribly high voltages for Cinebench, so I just sold it before I even LN2ing it. So now what I have left is, hopefully, I mean, these chips are all quite close, so it could just be that all 4 chips are absolute garbage, but basically I have the 2 best chips, relatively speaking, left over here. I think I'm going to LN2 this one first. So even though, so it's a bit weird how, sorry, these, yeah, okay, so this is Cinebench, this is Valids. So it was pretty much the best chip for Valids, except this one that's already been sold. But then Cinebench, it was having trouble, but that, I don't mind that. Maybe it just has weak cores. It could still be good for Valids or for SuperPi. And I have this other chip as well, which is sort of an in-between chip. So it has really good vid. It has, I mean, kind of in between Valids and in between Cinebench too. So I don't have that much LN2 left. I'm on my last Duer, but if I'm gonna freeze this chip first. If that chip is absolutely horrible, I can quickly change to the last chip and give it a short run. Ideally, the first chip would be good enough to just spend all my LN2 on, but we'll have to see. So let's assemble our rig. Yeah. All right, board. Where's my board? It's the original OC formula. So pretty. Why don't they make OC formulas anymore? So, I'll have to redo the paste under the IHS. How's everyone doing, by the way? I haven't really had such good news around here recently. We're in the middle of our second wave. Melbourne has been particularly badly hit, and yeah, yesterday was Australia's deadliest day, which the numbers probably won't impress Americans or anyone, but for us it's been pretty bad. So much text. Text? There is Gellet under here. But I'll redo the I'll at least redo the top of the core. Quite a long core for just 4 cores. Kind of interesting. Gauchi, what are you referring to? There's no text on screen right now. You mean my bench notes? This? Yeah, 21 deaths in 24 hours in Australia. There was a time when we had only 100 deaths overall, so for us that's big. It's probably still going to get worse before it gets better. Bottom of the IHS needs to be clean as well. I can actually, I do like running Ivy and Haswell direct dye, but just with the T-Rex pot on this particular board, the clearance is just not there to run direct dye. That reducing the height by that amount means that the pot basically doesn't sit on the chip anymore. It just floats above it. So unless I want to go to F1, which is just, it's not the greatest full pot in terms of not in terms of performance necessarily, more in terms of user experience. That's what I find. So what's everyone else benching these days? Are you hard at White Shark? Are you hard at work working on Team Cup subs? All right, time to attach our heater. All right, folks, I'm gonna keep the bag. Are you happy now? Yes. Such a satisfying click there. Where are my rods? Jesus, even mods getting in on the action. Oh, that's right. I need to move around my. I hate Intel holes. I hate Intel holes. So retarded. The HEDT ones are alright, but the mainstream Intel holes. Hi, Gregor. How are you doing? Good 9900K 4K sub the other day. Pretty impressive. Hi, Beer Matt. I'm alright. I'm off work today, so I'm back streaming on a Wednesday, which I haven't done in about 3 weeks. Have you got Comet Lake yet, Dark? I think I actually got it first try. Amazing. I usually have to look up a picture to figure out Intel holes. I sent my 7640X to Slovakia, uh, in April, and it finally arrived yesterday. COVID is making lots of things very interesting. Vacancy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you find a job soon. It's really tough now. I think pretty much every westernized country is at like 10% unemployment now, at least. And then for developing countries, it's probably even worse. Yeah, Ivy is fun because it's a full pot platform. Oh, 3 weeks. Oh, so vacation rather than vacancy. That's good to hear. Beer mat, it's 3570k. If you ever want to know what I'm benching, just go !rig. And I'm on my last syringe of Gellet because this is done. May be a good one. Yeah, Ivy always takes full pot. I mean, at least the 2 chips I've tried so far, and every chip that I've seen in action in person at bench meets and so on. Now, the amount of BCLK required to make it full pot, that varies by chip sometimes. Oh, this one, I think I was talking about this before you came on. So the chip I'm trying now is this one. So I've pre-tested it on water. Whatever, it doesn't have to be perfect. Well, Yes, it is, but I also use really bad paste. Um, I don't. I mean, it's not. I'm not trying to get the best 5G vCore for ambient. I'm not an ambient bencher. I'm just trying to get repeatable results. So I use really bad paste because then you usually see the differences between chips better. Or it could just be that I have 4 different batches that are all terrible, but let's hope that's not the case. Where did I put my mounting hardware? Yeah, it's probably not going to like cold. I mean, it's probably not going to be a great result, but the way I see it, when I'm binning chips, there's only good results. Because if it's a crap chip, I can sell it and stop worrying about it. And if it's a good chip, I can keep it. The only bad result would be if it dies. But don't think that's happened to me before. Fingers crossed. Yeah, well, I have to be philosophical. Like, I just been, I think, 15 or 16 Phenom 2 965 Black Editions, and none of them were what I was looking for. Um, but I sold some of them and I made a profit selling them. So now I think I'm back down to like 4 of them. So I've sold over 10, and I sold them for more than I bought them from AliExpress for. So I could be annoyed that I spent so much LN2 on something that didn't really yield results in some sense. Or I could be happy that I basically didn't lose any money. Nothing died. I didn't have to sell anything for a loss, and I kind of learned some things while benching. I figured out that actually vid is a thing for 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 Phenom 2, which I didn't really know before. VID, voltage identifier. Uh, I have it here actually. So what happens when let's say Intel or AMD are making a chip, they will basically pre-program a voltage into it, a vCore into it, and that is called the vid, and it's a reflection of what voltage was required um, for that particular chip to pass the quality control tests, basically. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that a lower vid automatically means a better chip. If you go old enough, like on socket 939, I discovered that every chip has the same vid. So basically, they didn't bother to adjust the vid. They just simply gave every chip the same vid, and if it doesn't pass quality control, it becomes a different SKU, or it just gets thrown out, basically. Whereas on modern platforms, including Ivy Bridge, including Phenom 2, which I was surprised by, the vid both varies and means something. On Phenom 2, I discovered that, at least on a 965, of course, the vid is gonna vary by SKU, because higher bin chips with higher stock frequencies, potentially need a higher vid, even if it's the same quality silicon. But within a particular SKU, so let's say Phenom 2 965, the vid means something. So on 965, I had 3 chips with vid over 1.4, and all of them were absolutely terrible on LN2. So going forward, I'm actually not going to bench chips with a vid over 1.4. There's just no point. I had 1 chip with a vid under 1.3, and it was my best chip. And every other chip fell within 1.3 to 1.39. And those chips, when compared against each other, higher vid didn't necessarily mean worse. I think there's just enough of a margin for error, let's say, in that area, that basically anything under 1.3 should be checked out on cold. I only had 1 chip under 1.3, and that was an excellent chip. So if I find another one under 1.3, I'll be excited. 1.4, I think I'm now at the point where I'm not going to try, at least for a 965. I haven't tried enough 955s. Let me open up that magical page, actually. So here you can see, right? 1.45 vid, absolutely garbage. 1.46 vid, absolutely horrible. 1.404, also crap. 1.39, okay chip, but still a reject. And now you can see that basically this 1.27 vid chip and this 1.37 chip vid chip were very, very close to each other. And here's another 1.37, and this 1.34 was good. But then there was another 1.34 that was I sold. So it's not perfect, but it certainly means something. And my absolute best Phenom 2, I think, is a 1.34 vid. This is a list of all the chips I own. Here's a wall of text. So identical vid, one is an absolutely amazing chip that does 6.8 through 32M, and another chip I didn't even bother writing down what it did because it was just very average. All right, let's finish up here with our preps. Come on. All right. We'll do it like this. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have shown that, but anyway, you're probably the only one. Probably just need a fan for my sticks because I'll be running them quite high. All right, you can see the temp. That's good. But there's no alien. Where's my alien? Absolutely essential stuff. Bigfollows.com. No, I don't want to become famous. What a random name as well. So, banned. All right. Let's get some LN2. All right, hopefully you can see the temps. Team Extreme. I think, what are they? Let me show you. There's a way to load SPD here, isn't there? Yes, here we go. 2600 C12 SPD. Minus 27 right now. Almost time to glaze the pot. It's too high up for me to look into it. Yeah, that's... Here you go. Here's the temp visual. Once I'm benching, you will see it. Just want to show the vapors at the moment. This head has seen better days. It misfires a lot. Alright, let's actually dial in some settings. Alright, random hang for some reason. Let's just use my old profile then. $1.75. Alright, it's not ideal. I'll have to pull down a bit more. Yeah, Celsius. I think at minus 100 we can apply. Alright, that seems to be posting. This is like 5.6 gigahertz. Maybe I spoke too soon. Alright, let's lower the multiplier a little bit. Adi, of course. Let's see if we can get to full pot at 106 BCLK, which we should be able to. Actually, I also need to copy over. Where is it? Still got an old version of CPU Z on there. Well, I heard a rather large crack there, but it went full pot. And as you can see, my fluke is showing minus 191.3. On my eBay temp probe, it would show minus 189. So slightly nicer temp probe. It's more reactive as well. Okay, let's see how high we can go all core on 1.75 volts. Okay, well, there's 6G, but also a hang. It's not great. At least it's rebooting full pot. Gotta get some more LN2. Trying 1.8 volts. 7G, yes. I won't be getting to 7G today, don't worry. Alright, that extra bit of volts seemed to help. Yep. Really important on this board to use the reset button after a fail like that, otherwise you're going to have a cold boot bug. This chip is probably around the same as the previous chip, to be honest. Could be a bad mount as well, who knows. But we'll make the best of it. 6 is not bad on a 3570K. There are some that don't do more than like 5.7, 5.8. But we still have a little bit of voltage to play with, and we still have core disabling to do. So let's give it 50 more millivolts. Okay. Sometimes these platforms are a little bit funky about how many multipliers you can go up in operating system. So I'm going to try and boot 54 just to see if that makes a difference. Upping BCLK. Maybe. I can go to like 1.9, 1.95 before I'm satisfied that it's not volts. That's better. Let's do 1.85 again. Okay. So that was a slight improvement. Was able to set 58. Okay, the other chip went to 2 volts actually. So let's try all the way up to 2 volts. Let's go 1.9 first. Let's core down to 2 cores and see what happens. Looks like no cold boot bug, so that's nice. Even showing minus 191.7 on the probe. That's pretty impressive. The only thing is, of course, it's battery driven, so that's a bit annoying having to turn it back on again midstream. Let's do 1.9 again. Hit setup. What do you mean setup? SLP. You mean BIOS? Oh. Okay, done. Let's go 1.95. Okay, let's see. Thanks. All right, let's go. Let's go the BCLK route. Oh no, let's keep on this topic and go 2 volts. So this is what the other chip did. So I'm very close. I mean, unfortunately, my pre-binning has worked in the sense that I thought they were all crap chips, and it seems like they're all crap chips. Time for 2 volts. Yeah, yeah, I know. I mean, funny stuff happens sometimes, Daggregor. My other chip scaled to 2 volts, so it's worth trying at least once to see what happens. Because sometimes you have holes as well. Like sometimes a chip won't scale from, let's say, 1.85 to 1.95, but then will scale from 9.5 to 2. I know it's unlikely, but I've seen it happen. Next thing now will be BCLK on the 57 multiplier at like 1.9, and we'll see how we go. Nope. Next chip. I think it's time for the next chip. How much LN2 do I have left? A good amount. Okay. Maybe I should core down to just 1 core just to see. Yes, he does look like a potato. I fully agree. So gonna quickly try on just one core. All right, next chip. Everyone fine with the next chip? But again, Gregor, I don't necessarily disagree, but you have to keep in mind everyone's ambient setup is different. So for me, it's most interesting to take 4, 5, 6, 7 chips and try the best two. And if the best two happen to be 1.425 or 15, then so be it, because it's not always that easy to find good batches, and it's also not always that easy to even find the quantity of chips. I've basically been buying every 3570K, going up for sale in Australia for 6 months, let's say, and all I could find was 4. So it's all dependent on the local market. It's always nice. It's always easy to say buy 20 chips and find some that do 5G at 1.35, but that's not always possible. Okay, so maybe the no pass at 4.9 Cinebench should have given me a hint here, but okay, so that's this one. This chip could be a little bit better, so let's try that. Maybe I should actually add the temperature in here. Let's quickly do that. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? Beautiful. You can see that I'm a pro. All right, let's touch it up. Can someone clip that? I don't think I've ever done a full torch up on stream like that before. Whew, hard work. Ivy is so nice. You can run Sammys on there. It's full pot. I really like it as a generation. I really want to stream it more and bench it more, but this is the third chip I've tried on LN2. I have 5 chips overall that I've benched in some way, and none of them have done well. I mean, this was the first one I tried on LN2, and I really struggled to get this amount out of it. My 3770K, I mean, to be honest, maybe it would have been worth keeping, but it's like $150 chip. I don't want to keep something if it's not benchable, you know, in my opinion. Yeah, fluke screen could do with a wipe. Well, oh, streaming rig still doing well. It's that's how it came. So it yeah, it is absurd. On the Intel side, basically on the Intel side, every top end chip is just over it's too expensive. 4790Ks go for absurd amounts of money. Like basically, for a while they were more than new. Yeah, 4770Ks to a lesser degree, 6700Ks, 7700Ks, all go for too much money. Arm hurts from all of this torching. So yeah, the basically the fluke, I got it for cheap. Like for a fluke, it was quite cheap, but it had some flaws. Like it had batteries were left in there and leaked all over the compartment. So initially, it wouldn't turn on, which is scary for me because I bought it from the US. So returning it would be really complicated, nigh on impossible. But after I used some lemon juice to clean out the battery compartment, it was fine again. And then obviously there's that stuff, that gunk on the front where I'll have to get some acetone or something to get rid of it. But I'm not too worried right now. Man, I think I need a break. So yeah, I don't like hanging on to top end chips. Even like I think I've gone through 4 or 5 for 2700Ks and 2600Ks. They're just worth too much to just have lying around in a drawer somewhere. Yeah, ISO. Okay, I'll tear down the rig and then I'll have to take a tiny break and then I'll come back with the second chip. Actually better off pulling the battery as well. I don't want to try and post 1.75 vCore at ambient. And let's turn off the heater. So yeah, probably not the greatest mount ever, but I still stand by my assessment that this is the lemon, even with a better mount. Beermad, what's your HiRobot username, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, well, I can just check the 3770K rankings. Oh, Matt, welcome. Yeah, indeed, Ivy is fun, and indeed you have a good chip. It's just so much easier to find a good 3770K though than 3570K. All right, just a tiny break and then coming back. All right, what did I miss? Did you, Matt? Did you try Valids on your 3770K? I'll just check. So, guys, what do you think of the bench table? Is anyone on here sort of like, is there a use case for it? As there's just terrible construction noise outside my window. Is there like, do people feel like they need a second bench table besides like an OBT? Are you on here, Matt? LFC. On Z. Well, there's Top Dog. I feel like 6.6 is where things start to get interesting. I don't know if JJJC is on here yet anymore, but he did a valid UD3H. Woo, interesting board. All right. Where has the second chip disappeared off to? Well, I won't be able to bench it if... Ah, here we go. I always label all my chips. 3570K number 4. You knocking your... What, do you have Ivy in your daily? It's fine for a daily, it's just not much of a benching board, really. Oh, this liquid metal under here. What a fucking mess. Alright, this will take a little bit of time. Cross fingers. Man, this is gunky. Where's my need like a razor blade or something. Don't want the edge of the IHS to have any gunk left on it. What's the difference between single core benching on Ivy and valids? Can you bench at the same frequency you can validate? Or do you have to drop like 200 megahertz? This is like I said earlier, this is valuable data. You know, I can make like $100 selling these two chips if they're both garbage. I know what types of chips not to try on cold. And yeah, that's gonna be good. I have two OC formulas though, so I know valid is not everyone's favorite bench, but I think it's very important to run it at least, just a basic all core, because it's just the easy, like it's the fastest way to know if a chip is good, because some chips just react differently under load. So okay, I think that you can kind of emulate it with SuperPi 1M, but then you run the risk of having IMC issues determine what core you can reach. Valid is the purest bench for just checking the cores, you know? I mean, I know it can be deceptive because on some, I know on FM1, for example, you can validate 6G, but then not run SuperPi at 5.2. So then it kind of becomes a big joke, but I think on as I just put some thermal paste on my laptop, on platforms that are consistent, I think it's a valuable thing to check. Yes, exactly my point, White Shark. But the way it works is you don't need to be able to check both, right? If you can check if a chip is bad, that's as valuable as almost as valuable as checking whether a chip is good. You know, ideally you want to be able to test both at the same time, but you know, considering how quick valids are, even checking whether a chip is bad is like really good sort of value for money there. Where's my Gelid? Gelid. No, I mean I understand, Matt. I understand where you're coming from. Valid's kind of a weird bench. It's not really a bench as such. I mean, I would question someone's sanity who actually likes that as a bench. But I think, from my point of view, it's sort of maybe not a necessary evil, but it's a valuable tool. You know, it's I don't do it much either, but I feel like I have to. I don't, probably not expressing myself correctly here, but I feel like I have to do it. I feel like it's the way to go. You know, it's the correct way, sort of. For the type of benching I do, it's invaluable. Probably just spent way too much Gelid on this chip. That's probably not even that good. But okay, be that as it may. Where's my IHS gone? Over here. I mean, there's not much. There are not many points in. Oh, my stream froze. I always watch back my own stream. For some reason, it froze. Okay, let's turn on again. Let's reassemble our rig here. Where's my heater? GPU valid, but there's no tool for GPU valid. How would you stop people from cheating? You can just set whatever and make sure that GPU-Z shows 3D clocks and not actually enter 3D clocks. Fundamental problem there is you have to run some sort of workload, but then that becomes complicated. I mean, I know CPU-Z also runs a workload, but a very light one. Could be interesting though. I understand where you're coming from. It is an interesting concept. Okay, Gelid. Where has my spatula gone? 1080 Ti maybe, White Shark. That's just off the top of my head. But 1080 Ti full pots and does 3G basically. So I can't really think of any other. I mean, AMD certainly isn't competitive. So unless you want to fuck around with 10 or 2080 Ti, but no, I think it depends on the workload, of course, but probably 1080 Ti. No. So here's a tip: when your nut falls into the pot, use a rod to get it out. Ta-da! Yeah, okay, so same generation. I mean, yeah, there are obviously some considerations to be made for memory size, memory bus size, um, propensity of to crack, and so on. Yeah, I think that's still Pascal, right? 1030. So that's what I mean, Pascal. Um, I know Miller has done interesting cap mods and stuff, so I can see how 1030 might be better. But what I'm trying to say is that the 2000 series cracks too much and doesn't necessarily even clock as high. So what does everyone think about the 3000 series? Is it going to be good, or is it going to be like 2000 series where it's just too pricey? I guess GPU-Z render test could be a valid if they um, put a similar validation system in place. I could see how that would be a good standard to agree on. Okay, let's do a post test. All right, that's all good. Time to attach the heater and the fan. All right, let's get some LN2. Just froze my toe. That's nice. We only have about a 3 or 4 degree delta between the temp in BIOS and the temp on the probe. Run out of VIP, so I've given you mod, Matt. But weirdly, you don't come up in the list of mods. Can you type something? Something. Nice. Let me look at my achievements. There's basically to get more VIPs, people have to talk. 20 people have to chat at the same time, and we don't have 20 people in the chat at the moment, so can't really do anything about that. Yeah, I like to have people who repeatedly come to the stream, either as VIPs or mods, just so I can see. Funnily enough, I don't think there's a limit on the number of mods, so I have 30 VIPs, I need to wait for 20 people on the stream to all talk at the same time for me to get more VIP badges. So I guess I'm just going to keep on modding people. Almost time to glaze the pot. Let's get another jug of LN2. Hopefully this glazing attempt is going to be better than the last one. Obviously not. Alright, that's pulling down quite nicely. Can someone explain to me why there would be someone with a hedge strimmer next door repeatedly streaming for like 5 seconds at a time all morning long? Just do it for a solid half an hour and then just stop. Fucking idiot. I kind of hope he heard me, to be honest. Minus 85. Time to load our little profile. Oh, look at you coming to his defense. 0-0. That's not good. Alright, it really doesn't like that profile. I'll lower the VCore and the multiplier. So we go like 1.6 VCore, 50 mult. Okay. Auto VCore auto mult? Like what could possibly be wrong with that profile? I don't really get it. Whatever. 35. Okay, let's try and full pot it in BIOS then. Alright. Well, still 0-0. Time to torch it up a bit. Alright. 150. Seems to be fine. Okay, just gonna have to build a new profile then. Okay, on 2 mode on. All core ratio. 106 BCLK. Spectrum off. Max this out. Max this out. Max this out. Still 0-0. Now we need to apply one thing at a time. Oh. Maybe it just needed to be a little bit warmer. So White Shark, what are you benching these days? Still 970s and 1070s? Alright, time to pull down again. Start with 1.85, or maybe just at 1.8 even. Ooh, the fluke turned off. I must not have set the right thing. Alright, need more LN2. Too hot to bench, so you're going to the beach instead? I'm gonna go 1.9. If anything, this chip is worse. Let's just go right down to one CPU, one core. Okay, so if there's no beach, then are you going to the Bagazé, maybe? Or the lake? Some sort of lake, some sort of river? Has to be a way to cool down. So let's try 1.9 again. It's even hotter there. It's a good call. So what GPUs are you soldering on? Well, I didn't expect the CPUs to get worse. When I did the first one, I thought, well, at least I have 2 more CPUs, but each one has gotten worse, so that's quite bad luck. Ah, it was the multiplier booting too low on the multiplier. Interesting. Okay, got a valid out. Okay, I can work with this. Maybe this will end up being the best chip after all. Let's actually just boot 1.85. Let's not screw around. $770 Lightning is a really good card. I saw that in action at Country Cup 2019 for the Cloudgate or Skydiver. I'm not sure, one of those two. You know, the stage that had GTX 670, 770, 970, 1070. that stage. I saw it being benched. So it applied 59. Nice. Okay. Maybe give it a little bit more V-core. Should scale a bit more with V-core anyway, with it being set to just one core. Less heat in there. There's hope, guys. There is hope. Yeah, that was a bit too quick. See if we can boot a multiplier higher, maybe. Or even two. Let's try. What's the worst that can happen? I still haven't gotten my Twitch payout, by the way. Waiting for those $100. So we're able to boot 57. Oops. Just taking some benching notes. Let's try at 1.85 again. I'm curious. Nope. How much LN2? Or how much left in the stream? Okay. Twitch doesn't pay out until you have accumulated $100 in revenue. I accumulated that at the end of the last stream, but I think it's also kind of quantized, like they only do it at the end of the calendar month or something. Let's see. There's something funky that goes on when you go beyond the range of your stream. Okay, yes, 105 US dollars. There you go. But I think it's only at the end of every calendar month, so it might still be on its way. So it's able to boot 6.9 or 6.1, I mean. Oh, well, that applied, but now there's this weird process shutdown thing going on. Maybe I can quickly... No. Okay. 6.2 at 1.85 vCore isn't bad. But yeah, I'm open about these things. Here's my breakdown. Over the entire 2.5+ years that I've been streaming, where my money came from. Okay, let's see if we can do half a BCLK more, maybe. No process shutdown thing either. Nice. Yep. I need more than 2. Okay, let's blast some volts. Let's go 2 volts and see what happens. No. All right. Let's see if we can get like a 1M out at 6.1. Let's actually do a straight boot. So 57 times 107. That's actually 6.1 already. Time to get the DRAM clocked. Yeah, should have done more LLC tuning, to say the least. Just max this. Okay, it's the CPU LED, so it's too cold. Let's torch it up a bit. It's actually a pull of 24 pin as well. And the battery. Trying the other BIOS.